Penguin Random House Audio presents Special Deluxe, written and read by Neil Young.
Preface. This is a story about the proud highway of second thoughts. Because I have already written a book about my life, some events will be familiar to those who have read that book. In this book, I'm looking at my relationship with cars over many years. Originally, my idea for this book was cars and dogs. That seemed like a nice enough idea for my second book, basically an outgrowth of the first one. I reasoned that I have had a love affair with cars my whole life, so that would be really a good thing for me to share in this second effort. I have also had some really great dogs, and I thought that both cars and dogs would be perfect vehicles to tell some more stories. Drawing on my pedigree as the son of a great Canadian writer, Scott Young, and my family history of author friends, I could surely pull something together that would be of interest to somebody and potentially keep me busy for a while, which I would really appreciate. It was my original hope that I could write an interesting book and continue the fun I had had with my first one. The only problem I had was the feeling that the book was going to get serious and obsessive about some of the things that I really care about. That had been something I had to face with my first book. In writing about cars, I would have to come clean about my feelings concerning fossil fuels, global warming, and American politics that might end up driving away readers. Unlike the cars themselves, a fun and innocent topic, the subject of politics and legislation might change the book significantly from the way it started, making it not that much fun for some people to read. I had my fair share of doubt. To complicate things further, upon closer inspection and a great deal of soul-searching over a period of more than 1 hour, I realized late one night that I was perhaps the worst master of a dog that the world has ever seen. I have done almost everything wrong that one can do with a dog, and that would surely be a royal turn-off to any dog lover reading my new book, if I called it Cars and Dogs. With that in mind, I changed the title to Cars I Have Known, just to make sure that I did not attract any dog lovers who might really hate the book and me after the first few dogs. That said, I hope I have made the right decision and still including my dogs and indeed some other dogs. I am trying to underplay their presence in the story by not mentioning them officially, yet including them whenever it seems appropriate. Chapter 1. Skippy was a Labrador mix. We had Skippy when I was a young boy, about 4 or 5, I reckon. He was basically a yellow lab, with some sort of other dog thrown in for seasoning and personality, as well as endurance, I am sure. I say that because my dad used to take Skippy for runs on the weekends, or any other time it seemed right. The dog runs were a wonderful family experience. It was about 1950. Gasoline cost 27 cents a gallon, and we had a 1948 Monarch business coupe with a huge trunk. Skippy would jump right into the trunk happily as far as I can remember, his tail wagging and ready to go, because he knew we were going for a run in the country. After my dad closed the trunk door, with Skippy safely inside, we would all jump in the car. Omimi, our little town with a population of 750, was on Highway 7 between Lindsay and Peterborough in the province of Ontario, in the vast country of Canada, and the open and wild countryside was only about 3 miles away. We would ride out there together, past the dump, along the swamp, and across the low bridge, which enabled water to slowly run under it, joining one part of the swamp, or bog, as it was called locally, to the other part. On one side was a large expanse of water with stumps sticking out of it where trees once stood, before the mill and dam were built, forever changing the natural flow of the river. On the other side was the marsh, which was mostly cattails and swamp grass. At the far end of the bog, at the dam, farmers would bring in their
Sample complete. Ready to continue?